Once it rolls. What happens if a situation arises that you were unprepared for? A situation such as a blizzard, a tornado, or being locked down due to a virus. Put yourself in any possible situation that could arise. Now ask yourself, what would you do? Where would you go? What do you need? Are you ready? Because what if tomorrow? Welcome to another episode of What If Tomorrow Preparedness and News. And this is our first YouTube live episode. For you guys that are just jumping on, let me know how I sound. We had some audio problems here at the beginning of it, so if you would please let us know how we sound. I'm kind of hoarse and froggy because I've been battling a head cold or something going on. But anyway, welcome. I'm glad to be. We're on YouTube now. We're on Facebook. Excited, and we had a ball last week when we went live on Facebook. It was so much fun interacting with everybody. So by all means, feel free to comment and come in, say hi. Make sure that you allow StreamYard access so we can see who's talking to us. Anyway, do us a favor. Check us out on our website, whatiftomorrowmedia.com. Check us out over on YouTube, What If Tomorrow Media. All of our affiliates are on our website. We got EMP Shield. We have Duke Cannon, My Patriot Supply, and Conflicted the Game. You guys kind of saw a little bit of it last week if you watched, or if you listened, you heard a little bit of it. So yeah, I mean, we're trying new things, and we're going to see how this goes tonight. Anyway, Mark, man, how you doing? I know we kind of hung out a little bit today, but we're busy and
yeah. Well, it was good to be busy and not standing around.
I know. I know, but it's hot. God dang, it was hot.
It is hot,
and it's going to be worse tomorrow, I think.
No,
tomorrow.
For the
next week and a half.
Tomorrow's going to be bad.
Yeah. It's been rough. I know most places in the nation are pretty rough right now. That's something we can throw out there. I mean, it's not really news, but it's see, hey Chris.
She says you sound good.
Well, good. But yeah, I mean, it's just nuts right now. It's just stupid hot. It makes you don't want to do anything when you get home after being out in it all day. I've got stuff I've got to do. But yeah, just bear with it, man. It's pretty rough. But anyway, on with the news. I think the biggest thing that I've been following here the last week, let me find it and then I'll share it if I can get it to load. Yeah, let's see. I'm not going to... I was going to bring the article up, but for some reason it's not wanting to. Is a possible... solar storm hitting us tomorrow here the next couple of days.
Yeah, they said the aurora could be seen well south of normal.
Oh.
If I recall what I was reading about that, it could interrupt satellite communications, all sorts of things.
Yeah, it's I think what she say was going to be a possible CE3. I think is what the article was saying.
CE 2 to 3.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, and I was wanting to show the video, but again, my Facebook isn't loading. But it's a pretty cool video of the explosion, on the sun. It was pretty neat to watch. It looked like a giant snake coming out. Yeah, it was impressive. But yeah, we've talked several times about CMEs or EMPs, things like that. That was one of was it our first episode? I think it was our first episode.
Very first episode.
Yeah. So if you dare, go back and listen to it. The information's good. The hosts aren't.
No. Yeah, they're still not, but
No,
they're
not
better.
very. I mean, now with these lives, you can definitely see that we don't have faces for television. You know, I mean, we have faces for radio. But we figured we'd give it a shot, and we, like I said, we enjoy the engagement with everybody that watches. I don't have a lot on news. I mean, there's riots around the world. There's protests, farmers protesting in Europe, all over Europe right now because they're being told they can't use fertilizer, the nitrogen fertilizer. They're being told they can't use it now, and they said that something like 30% or 40% of the food supply is going to be affected. And this is worldwide, so be on the lookout for food shortages. Definitely take steps now if you haven't started. Take steps now to get some kind of food prep in place. I don't care what it is. If you got to go cheap, go cheap. What's up, Chad?
Hey, bro.
It's our buddy Chad from the Chad Smith podcast. If you guys haven't checked out him and Sonny and Spooky, man, go check them out. Good show. They're a lot more along the lines of are on the fringe, but they're a really good show. Good guys. Great to hang out with them. So good to see you, Chad. But yeah, with the food shortages, I mean, everybody knows. Mark and I mean, we've talked about this several times, and we know that it's coming. Some places I think are already seeing it, but the closer we get to the fall harvest, I think we're going to start seeing it even more. Here, they've already cut wheat, but we've got two big crops around here that come out in the fall. We got soybeans and we have corn. And honestly, I'm surrounded by cornfields. I'll have to take a picture and show you guys. Right now, I'm surrounded by a cornfield, and driving down the road, looking at the corn. We haven't had rain. I mean, we're in drought, obviously. It's stupid hot right now. There isn't hardly any corn on it, and it's kind of sad to look at.
Yeah, corn needs a lot of water.
Yeah. My garden, we went out of town last weekend. I don't know if I talked about this last week or not. But we watered Thursday night. We left Friday. We're gone Saturday, came back Sunday, and my whole garden was almost burned up. Just because of the lack of water and the heat.
Yeah.
I mean, so I was out picking everything I could get picked. And I've still got some things still going. We're trying to keep them up, but it's kind of tough. We were talking about last night about starting to get a fall garden getting ready to go in. And I'm really thinking about just tilling up everything we've got and trying again. I mean, that's part of the game. I mean, you got to do your best. Sometimes things don't work out. My wife made the comment, she said, all the years that we didn't plant, and now the year we really take it seriously, it looks like everything is falling apart. It's kind of crazy. But also, I mean, there's other means if it's available, and I'm going to show you real quick. You guys have heard me talk about the quail. They'll be 5 weeks old tomorrow. I'm going to share this real quick.
Cool. They're big.
Yeah, they grow. I mean, they say they're ready to butcher at 8 weeks. I definitely believe it. I don't know if you can see that, Mark. I've only got the one monitor up.
I cannot see it yet. There we go.
This is tonight. This is one of the females we had, or I've got. And, just to give you an idea, this is in the grow out cage that I built. Oh, wrong way.
Just for scale, Phil's hands are not small.
And these are right after we put them in the brooder. You can imagine this is a normal paper plate. Just to have an idea how big they are now. This is right after we put them in the brooder. Dang it! And this is obviously in the incubator right after they're hatching. So, and they're 5 weeks old now. So they say they're at full maturity in 8 weeks. They should start laying between next week and the week after. So it's a viable option if you have the means. I mean, we had Brandon on from Whiskey Tango Farms. Look him up if it's something you're interested in. I mean, I'm here to tell you. I mean, chickens are dumb. They are. They're dumb animals. Quail are really dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife just posted. She said it's been an uphill battle the whole time, talking about the garden and trying to get everything ready. And yeah, it has. It definitely has. But yeah, so pay attention to your grocery stores. You want to get in and get this stuff now, because remember in 2020 when they did the run on toilet paper.
They're going to do it on food too.
They're going to do it on food this go around, guys. People are going to go hungry. I don't think we're going to be hit as hard here in the United States, but there's going to be thousands, if not millions of people die of starvation over the next probably year, would be my guess.
And I think it's planned.
I absolutely do.
Conspiracy brain goes straight to that.
Absolutely, it does.
Coincidences.
And something else that I want to bring up, for those of you that listened, and I want to get him back on. I haven't talked to you about this yet, Mark. I just started watching a video with Frank Jacob on. And some of his sources are talking about how that this is kind of in the beta mode, or in the beta, where they're starting to shift to a cashless society. A lot of the quote unquote elites, that are involved with this whole World Economic Forum and crap like that, they're starting to shift their money into accounts to where they're not going to be affected by this whole shift to the paperless currency and all that. I want to find out more about it, and I'm going to invite Frank back on. I may bring him on this show. It's going to have to be probably a Sunday afternoon or something like that because of our time difference. But I think it's definitely something worth exploring, is the ramifications of them forcing people onto cash, or onto cashless. It's going to be like a digital currency, kind of like, I'm not going to say it's like Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's not regulated. But if that's the case, they can control what we spend. They can control where we spend it, how we spend it. I mean, there it goes.
They can
and it all falls.
They can say, we're just not going to let that one go through because we don't approve.
Right. And he's also talking about how this whole new beta test is setting up a class system, oh, dang it. It just slipped my mind. A guaranteed income. I forget the name behind it, but it's a guaranteed income for people. Which they're going to say, well, you can only have this much money. This is how they come in and take all your stuff. This is how they do that. This is how they come and take your property. They don't give you enough money to pay your bills. They don't give you enough money to pay your house payment. But they'll bring BlackRock in, and then BlackRock will buy all your property up. And this is where they come out and say you'll own nothing and you'll like it. I mean, people think we're crazy talking about this stuff. But this conversation is not being had in a lot of different places, and it needs to happen because people are, I think in some ways, I mean, they're ignorant for one, but I think a lot are willfully ignorant because they see something going on, but they're not willing to ask the questions of why, because they're just go along to get along. And I'm not saying anything bad about them doing that, but I think it's wise to ask the questions. What is going on? Everybody can feel there's something going on. Everybody. But it's up to us to ask that question, why? And for that, I want to ask you guys that are watching, I want to ask you guys that are listening, Let us know. Let us know over on Facebook at the What If Tomorrow podcast group where this is live streaming at. Let us know, what are you doing to prepare? What steps are you taking to ensure that yourself, your family, friends are taken care of? Because Mark and I talk all the time about your community. Now is the time to take those steps and start networking, talking to people that are like-minded. If you don't think that person is for you, great. Don't talk to them. Don't bring them into your community. Don't talk to them about this stuff. I'm not saying do it secretly, but I'm also saying do it secretly, if you know what I mean. I mean, it's one of those things you don't want out there. You don't want to tell people that you've got, well, shit, I've got 2 years worth of food. You don't want to tell them that.
No.
You don't want to tell them what you have.
Confiscate it.
Absolutely.
There's already plans through DARPA to do that.
Well, look what Roosevelt did with the gold in the 30s.
He made it illegal to own gold of any kind.
Right. You know, I mean, our government has done crap like that before. So, I mean, this isn't really an anti-government rant, but it's the truth. I mean, know your history, folks. Learn from history. Learn from all these oligarchs and corrupted, nations, China, Russia. What all happened with Stalin and Mao and all that crap. I believe that's what's in store for a large majority of people in the world. This isn't just something that's going to affect the U.S. Although I think it's going to affect us more because they have to bring us down.
Right.
They're trying to bring us down to the world's level, if that makes sense.
Well, it's because if we lose our freedom, then we can't help anybody else.
Absolutely right.
As long as we're free, they can't enslave the rest of the world.
Absolutely right.
Well, once we lose it here, the world, we're done.
Yeah, there's nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. I don't know. It's crazy to think about, and I mean, it seems like it's way out there, but no. I mean, watch what's going on in the world, because it's crazy, but it's happening. So I'm begging you, get your community set up now. Start down that path. If you're not preparing, start.
It's not hard,
because I think it's only going to get worse. Were you going to say something, Mark?
I said it's not hard to get started.
No.
A couple extra items in your grocery cart every time.
Yep. Like I said, if you want to go buy mac and cheese, instead of buying one box, buy two, put the other one up. Start cheap. I know people's money is stretched pretty tight anymore because of inflation, which that's another thing. I mean, the inflation numbers are higher than what they projected, and you hear it, every month, it's higher than it's ever been. It's higher than it's ever been. Well, yeah, no kidding. You think so?
Yeah. And just wait. If you measure it the way they did back in the 70s and 80s, it's twice as high. Almost twice as high.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy to think about. I don't really have any much more towards the news. I don't know if you do, Mark.
I really don't. The news is so depressing.
It is, extremely.
Which is why the preparedness stuff is such a timely thing.
Right. Well, it's not loading. I'm going to have to try this differently next time. I was going to bring up Facebook and show you some stuff because there were some really cool pictures. Ryan Patowski is a guy I served in the Marine Corps with. He shared it, and this doesn't have anything to do with preparedness, but I guess it could. I don't know, depending on what it was. But I can't see it. I can't. But I don't know if you saw the post I made the other day where all the red lights were under the clouds. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that picture.
It's pretty weird looking. I mean, they're out over the ocean. I've seen several people posted that it was a squid fleet, they're fishing for squid.
Oh wow.
It's possible, I guess. I don't know. I've never fished for squid, but I mean, I can see how the fish are attracted to the light and all that. But it was all red, and I think they said there were 30 some thousand feet up or something like that. Let me see if I can pull it up over here, maybe. Um, do do do. I know he tagged me in it. That's how I found it. There we go. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna share this. It's freaking cool. I know, again, it didn't have anything to do with news or preparedness, and I mean, if it's aliens, maybe, I don't know, but I think it's pretty cool. If you guys haven't seen it, yeah, to pop up.
Yeah, it sure did.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. They were at 39,000 feet. I don't know where the compass location is, or there's no landmass real by, or no landmass nearby. Not red sprites. Seriously doubt it was some kind of underwater volcanic eruption. In the video, you can see one of the red lights change to white. Any oceanographers or geologists have any ideas? Not a weather event. Might be a bunch of fishing boats or military exercise, but it's an interesting mystery. And the pilot reports he's on that route often and hasn't seen this before. I don't know if I can play the video or not. Can't hear it. I find that pretty interesting. But yeah, I don't know. Just more questions, I mean, that's kind of how we got where we're at. Just asking questions and trying to find the answers.
What
And
wide world of sports is that?
that's right. I don't know. But tonight we're kind of. I was going to show Facebook and this and that, and show some posts from some of the folks that have been posting in the group, and it's not working out great. It's having a hard time loading everything. But yeah, anyway, we're kind of wanting to talk about, a SHTF scenario. What kind of tools should people have on hand? Just a good group. I mean, nothing spectacular, nothing specific. I mean, nothing out of the ordinary that most people don't have, but it's a good idea to keep these on hand within arm's reach in case you need them in a pinch. I know us at home, we've got a bag under one of our cabinets, that's got just, a small hammer and some other stuff in it. And I would imagine a lot of people are the same way, maybe in your junk drawer or
$20
something
at Walmart.
like that.
You can
What's
get a
that?
household tool kit.
Yeah.
They're about $20 at Walmart. Let me see if I can share something.
Okay.
And as we wait for the internet. Here, it's even pink. Let's see if I can share this. Share screen. And let's see. Can you see that?
Not yet. We're still trying to figure out. Oh, hold on. I got to let it in.
Okay.
There we
There
go.
you go. See,
I mean-
something like that under your. It's just got a lot of basics in there. It's $28. Prices have gone up. But
Yep.
and there's a cute little one down there. It's in a little cloth bag. It's 48. I remember when that one was 20. So I mean,
Yeah, I think. Let's say we've got the little cloth bag,
Yeah,
and I've got a
something like
shop
that.
full of. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say something like that. You never know when you're going to need it. It doesn't have to
Right.
be an emergency. You might have to
Right.
fix your door.
Oh yeah, for sure. Um, I know that everybody's generally got a hammer and screwdrivers and all that, but I'm not telling you to set aside everything. Set aside screwdrivers just for this one person, or one instance or whatever. But I would say know where they're at, kind of like a fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
Something like that. Screwdrivers are good to have. At least a number 2 and a number 1 bit Phillips. Pretty standard to have your number 2 is just about everything. But for the smaller screws, you want a number 1. A good flat blade screwdriver. Be good to have. At least a few sets of pliers. Some needle nose, vice grips are good to have. Slip joint pliers. I mean, they're kind of all purpose in general pliers. But they're good to have, good to keep on hand. A good crowbar or a pry bar is good to have.
It can get you out of the house if a tree falls across the door or out of a jam with a burglar.
Right, absolutely. Another tool, I mean, you definitely want to keep like a good pair of work gloves. If you have broken glass or something like that.
Goggles, dust masks,
safety glasses.
a lot of that
face
stuff
shield.
is on the FEMA list too.
Yeah.
Something most people forget about is eyeglasses kits.
Yep.
They're $1 a piece at the Dollar Tree. Get a couple. Keep one in your car.
Yeah, they're good to have. Plus, the screwdrivers in them are tiny enough you can open up like little battery compartments on. I liken it to like my kids' toys, battery operated toys. They have the small screws in them now or whatever. But if I had to choose, I would choose a flat blade because a lot of times you can cram the flat blade into a Phillips screw and still bust it loose. Kind of a general all-purpose screwdriver, but obviously it's better to have a Phillips for a Phillips screw. I mean, that's a given.
Most of those kits carry both.
What's that?
Most of those kits have both.
Yep. And on that note, you just a good hammer. I would recommend a good ball peen, just because it's a stronger hammer than a claw hammer. If you have a crowbar, I mean, you can obviously pull nails with your crowbar, but it's a good, the ball peen, like I said, it's heavier duty. If you got to bust holes and stuff, it's easier to bust holes with the ball peen, obviously. What else? I think, Mark, you mentioned having some electric, screw guns and stuff like that on hand.
Yeah. If you are handy at all, a lot of our listeners will have battery-powered power tools. While they're not the best in the world, DeWalt makes a very wide selection of power tools that take the same battery. They also make a 12-volt charger that you could hook up conceivably to a solar panel and charge your wire or your cordless tools off the grid. So, I mean, even if you're going to your deer shack, that's something to keep in mind.
Oh, for sure.
So, I mean, several other brands may carry the same thing, but I know DeWalt does.
Yep.
Another thing is you got to think about water. Electric goes down. If it stays down for several days, you could lose water. And for $15, you can buy a Brita water pitcher. It'll do the job. There's not anything you have to save back. I would just keep in a couple extra filters on hand. They've got everywhere from a 6 cup to an 18 cup dispenser uh, for reasonable prices. The filters are inexpensive. You can get 4 filters for less than $20. Uh, and they also have the portable water bottles you can take with you on a jog or a run or whatever. Uh, so you can have filtered water anywhere. Throw one in your car. Uh, I have a camping water filter that I keep. It claims to filter 100,000 gallons of water, but you can hook it up to a water bottle or a Camelback, or it's got a hand pump and you can pump water. So something like that. You can't live without water. You can go for a long time without food, but you can't go very long without water. And I'm very mindful of that because I live in a town where you just sneeze and the water treatment plant goes down and you're on boil order.
Yeah, it seems like you guys are on it every other day.
Sometimes.
Sorry, I'm not trying to cough in everybody's ears right now, but my wife, she made the comment, life straws are pretty good too, and we do have some in our packs as well. Life straws definitely do the job. But the filter Mark showed, I also have one, and they will filter a lot more water than just a life
And they
straw.
get
But
the Giardia and all that other stuff.
yeah, life straws they're excellent for a bug out pack or a good get home bag or something like that. But if you're in a sustainable situation where you're trying to sustain, the life straw will be useful, but you'll want something that can handle a large volume of water. So, what else? What else do we have here? I'm just trying to go off the top of my head what the list said because I didn't have it with me. But
Well, I happen to have the list here on my
oh, sweet.
tablet. So, um, here is the recommended kit: water and non-perishable food for several days, extra cell phone battery or charger. Those little battery pack chargers are great. Battery-powered hand crank radio that can receive NOAA weather radio tone alerts and extra batteries. I bought one for everybody this last Christmas for $10 a piece. Has a solar charger, a hand crank, and you can plug a USB into it and charge your cell phone, all with the same device. Um, Flashlight, extra batteries, first aid kit. Don't forget a first aid kit. I bought an IFAC kit, which has a lot of stuff in it. Whistle to signal for help, dust masks in case you have contaminated air, plastic sheeting and duct tape so if you need to block off part of your house. Say if you're using a generator, it won't run your whole air conditioning system, but you might be able to run a room. Moist towelettes, garbage bags, and plastic ties for personal sanitation. If you're going to do that, 5-gallon bucket to sit on is not bad either. Non-sparking wrench or pliers to turn off utilities. Manual can opener. In case there's no power, you've got to be able to open your food. And local maps. And then additional items, prescription meds and glasses, infant formula and diapers if that applies, pet food, water and supplies, your documents. If you have to leave, you want to have your documents and bring them with you. Cash, change in case you need to use a vending machine. You get someplace where the power's on. Cheez-It can. I mean, Big Willie, you are absolutely correct.
Absolutely.
And it has a near infinite shelf life.
Yep.
I like it. I like it a lot. Um, emergency reference material like this PDF, sleeping bag or warm blanket for each person, a complete change of clothing, um, weather appropriate, fire extinguisher, matches in a waterproof container, feminine supplies and hygiene products, and hand sanitizer. I've got gallons of hand sanitizer around this house.
I think it's probably about everybody.
Probably
does
also use it
anymore.
for fire starter.
Oh, absolutely. It'd be awesome.
Paper and pencil, books, games, puzzles, and activities for children. I've got 2 decks of cards in my bug out bag, just in case.
I'm trying not to die here. Yeah. Willie agrees it'll last. So.
Well, they don't last very long. Once I open one, it's gone in about an hour.
Yeah. Obviously a good knife. You know, whether a big one is a good multi-tool. Because it's got, your screwdrivers and your knives, your pliers.
Buy a decent one for $5 at Walmart.
Yeah. They're good to have on hand. Man, I'm drawing a blank right now.
A folder?
What's that?
I think every man should carry a folder.
Yeah, absolutely.
Folding knife, and so should every lady.
Yep. I think my wife's got like 500 in her purse or something like that. That's why I go in there. So
I actually have a big Rubbermaid container up here full of knives.
There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Well, I can hand them out to everybody in the house.
Yeah. The wife said give or take. So but no, I mean, there's a lot of tools that are invaluable. But the biggest things are to keep in mind is a good hammer, preferably a ball peen. If you don't have a crowbar, obviously. Oh, your wife's getting involved now. Chris has said don't encourage him. But yeah, a good ball peen hammer. If you don't have a crowbar, obviously you want a claw hammer. And now they make them they're almost multi-tools in their own right with hammers anymore. You've got different little notches and stuff like that cut on them and all that. So they're pretty impressive anymore than just a standard claw hammer.
Walmart has a hammer multi-tool with pliers and everything in
it. Yeah, I do. My wife posted on there, do you remember the hassle it was when we got married and we're getting our marriage license at the courthouse? Yeah, it was hilarious. I'll share this story. So we went in the day we got married. We were going into the courthouse to get our license, and we had to run the purse through the medical detector, or not the metal detector. And they're like, "What is in there?" And I don't remember how many knives she had in the purse, but she's like, "They're like, ma'am, you can't take that upstairs with you." And luckily, they were nice enough to hold on to her purse instead of making us go back out to the car and all that stuff. And they didn't confiscate anything. But yeah, there was tons in there. It's like, why do you need that many knives? And the wife's like, just in case.
Phil. She's a keeper.
Yeah, she is. It was hilarious. But yeah, hammers, screwdrivers, knives. Definitely a good utility knife. I mean, because you don't know. I mean, you might need something to fillet or skin something with, or whatever. Man, I'm trying to run down the list. But you want to keep like an extra bag of nails. Small nails, something like that you can use to put a makeshift shelter together if you have to. Maybe a small bag. Board up windows. Maybe a small bag of zip ties. Something that you can build with.
Duct tape.
Duct tape, definitely. Big Willie says, my wife ran our brand new tablet that we're going to use on to stream our wedding day at the courthouse as we're entering the security at the courthouse for our wedding day. Did it mess it up? Did they have to go through the metal detector with it?
And here's
Yeah, that's crazy.
Fried it dead.
I figured.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny to think about all that stuff that you got to go through to do anything important like that, you know. And people don't think about it. I know we weren't when we were going in because we had obviously had our mind on them getting married. But it happened to me. I had one of those credit card knives. You know what I'm talking about? The handle folds out and makes a blade.
Yeah, I've seen those.
You know, I had it in my wallet and I wasn't thinking anything about it. Well, I took my my older boys to the airport so they could fly out to see their mom. You know, and you got to go through the metal detector and you take all your junk out and throw it in a basket so it can go through their metal detector and all that. And the TSA's like, "Sir, what is that?" "What is what?" And my wife, in reply to Willie, she's like, "Oh no." But they're like, "Sir, what is that?" "Oh, you know, because I totally forgot about it. You know, if you carry it around so long, you know." And I asked the lady, "Just keep it." You know, it was like $2 or $3. You know, it wasn't anything major. And she's like, "Well, I have to hold on to it. I can't let you through with it." Well, I took it out of my wallet and I said, "Okay, fine. I'll come back and get it." On the way out, I wasn't going to go through the hassle of going all the way back through that crap, so I just left. I said, "You can have it. It was just a few bucks. I think I have another one somewhere, but
Yeah.
I mean, I never used it anyway. It was just there just in case, and I forgot about it. And I think that's just in general. I mean, people forget about stuff that they carry all the time.
Yeah. I've got one in my wallet.
You know, I mean, it's like the whole pocket knife or even your cell phone. Everybody now, I mean, if you leave your cell phone at home, you feel naked without it. You know, I mean, you just don't think about it. You grab it and you're like, "Oh crap, you know, I got to go home or whatever." I mean, it's become such a part of our lives that we feel lost without it. You know, and what's funny is me growing up, I didn't have a home phone. You know, and that's what's crazy about it. My dad, we did for a short time, and to call like 7 or 8 miles to Coffeyville was long distance.
Yeah.
And my sister was always calling her friends and stuff because that's where we went to school at, was in Coffeyville. And ran up the phone bill, and Mom and Dad's like, we're not doing this. I'm not going to have you running up long distance. And so they got the phone shut off, and we never had one growing up. They didn't get a phone until after I moved out.
I remember party lines.
Yeah.
Getting on the bike and running over to the neighbor's house to remind her to hang it up because she forgot.
Yep. All the old ladies sitting there listening to all the gossip and stuff.
Yeah, well, running over to the neighbor's house when I was a kid was like 2.5 miles.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, when my brother, you know, and they'd want to call home, and they'd have to call the lady down the road, and she'd come up and tell Mom or Dad, "Hey, you know, they're going to call at such and such time." So she'd come up and tell us, and you know, then we'd go down to her house, and thankfully, you know, she let us use the phone and all that. But anyway, so that's about really a lot of the tools and stuff. But I found something cool. I've got Facebook working. I want to run through and do some stuff on Facebook while we're here. Pam says she's stuck in a meeting.
I'm sorry, Pam.
Oh, dang it. Well, Pam, you're going to have to join us Wednesday. I'm going to throw this out real quick. We have an awesome guest coming on, and she's from Australia. If we can make it work, her name is Carrie Ann Fields, and she does a lot of work, astral projection, stuff like that. She's a spiritual healer, kind of a really big into yoga and natural healing and stuff like that. But she's also, I think I've made mention before that she is, I seen, and what struck my interest was I seen that she said that she went to the astral plane with several people and to try to stop CERN from opening up another dimension or whatever. And she said they were successful. So it really struck my interest. So I invited her on, and luckily she accepted. So we're gonna talk about that Wednesday night. I think it'll be a fun show. But yeah, I want to run down now that I've it's working for some reason. I don't know if my internet kind of got over the hiccup or whatever. But I want to go into Facebook and just talk about some of the posts. You know, I mean, you guys post a lot. Let's see. And so I figured we'd just talk about different things. I mean, like this one here, I put this one up the other night. Well, you can see it, right? I need to get another screen.
Yeah, I may have one.
But you know, this was up in a mall in New Jersey talking about nuclear, you know, what to do in case of nuclear attack. And Mark, you talked about that last week.
Yeah.
How their New York was talking about it and all that. So, I mean, this is it.
And really, New York should, because it would, as a major port of entry to the United States, it's actually high on the target list. When you look at the DARPA studies, when they've talked about it, New York was one of the ones that was mentioned specifically as being a bad place for one to happen.
Yeah, and it would be. It would be. Yeah, here's that. Here's what I was talking about earlier. Let me pull it up, and I'm going to share that real quick. We were talking about the MAT or CME or the solar flare.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull up this video because it's kind of a cool video when we're watching the sun do this. Okay, we'll pull that down. I guess I can't share it from there, so.
We're learning how to use all this.
Yeah, we're
getting
along, through it.
Folks.
No, that's SpaceX satellite, wrong one, wasn't it? All right. So this is probably going to pop up in another screen. Yep. I got to open like 10 windows just to get to the one video I want to show everybody. Is because I thought it was really cool.
Oh, you know what? If I get 2 more screens, I can have wraparound when I do my video games.
Yeah.
Let's see. I can justify it for the show.
Yeah, if you watch like right here, it's only like a 5-second video. I thought that was just so cool to watch.
Yeah, that's wicked.
Yeah. But yeah. Let's see.
We should be able to see the Aurora Borealis even in Kansas. I don't know if it's going to show as far down as we are, but people in Kansas should be able to see the Aurora in the next couple of days.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see. I've never seen it.
I saw it once a long, long time ago, and it just barely. I thought it was lightning or something.
Yeah, man. Hiding my phone behind the book to pretend to write. Just oh, your wife's mom kicked in.
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely, Pam. You'll have to join us Wednesday night. It's going to be a fun show. Anyway, what else we have up here? I know. Yeah, go check us out over on TikTok. I just got a second video put up. It's just a quick trailer for On the Fringe, but you know, we're trying to get some stuff going there. I've got a good friend of mine down in Florida trying to help us get noticed and get out there a little bit more. He's actually encouraged us to do it, and we got some things. He was on the show here, what, a year ago, probably?
Yeah, about a year ago.
Or well, I guess probably a year and a half ago, because I know it was cold outside.
Yeah.
With when he came on with Ballista Packs, he came up last week, or when we were off. Was it last week? Were we off last? Yeah, we were off last week.
Yeah, last week.
he hello Facebook user. What's going on, guy? I don't know who you are. We'll see what we can do here. Let's see. Oh, hey Joe. What's up, man? That's Joe from the UFO Garage podcast.
Nice.
And man, I don't know, Joe. I mean, I'm representing tonight, so
Yep.
but yeah, man, there's so much going on. There's my quail. Oh, this one's cool. Have you guys seen this? The different, or not this one. It was the foods that are banned throughout the world that we have here. Where'd it go? Yeah, this one here. Well, can't hear it, can we?
Mountain Dew, Little Debbie Swiss Rolls, Frosted Flakes, Coffee Mate Coffee Creamer, Stovetop Stuffing. Okay, this one has got to be the hardest for me. Skittles, Wheat Thins,
Yeah, it's crazy to think about.
Gatorade, Pop-Tarts, and Ritz crackers. Here are 10 foods that are legal in the US but banned in other countries.
Anyway, I don't know what else. Yeah, I had to throw that one up there. I thought it was pretty cool.
I saw one of those.
Yeah, the face huggers. Joe's getting a tattoo. He's gonna have to show us. You have to send us pictures, man. Pop-Tarts. Yeah, I seen a thing on that the other day with Pop-Tarts and was it Gatorade, Mountain Dew, stuff like that. They talk about having glycol in it, like for antifreeze. Because who knows? I guess they figured, then Roundup.
I don't know.
Yeah, cancer-linked herbicide found in urine of more than 80% of Americans. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, here we go. That's the video I was talking about. Joey posted it, Joey Peters. Let's see.
Active ingredient inside of engine coolants, various paints and varnishes and enamels. But according to the FDA, as long as you don't eat too... After reading this comment, I definitely had to do some research, and I found out this one's actually true.
I haven't got this quite
Pop-Tarts and a
figured out
long
yet.
list of other foods and drinks use an additive called propylene glycol, which is also the active ingredient inside of engine coolants, various paints and varnishes and enamels. But according to the FDA, as long as you don't eat too much of it, it's okay.
It's only safe if you
My
don't consume
question
too
is,
much.
if you eat a lot of food that has it in it and you don't know that it's in it and you just keep eating it, it could add up pretty quickly, don't you think? Various ice creams within the Blue Bunny brand also
cream
have
sandwiches.
propylene
Man, I
glycol
love
in
ice
their
cream
stuff. Alright, this one's actually sad too because I
Cold Stone
love
Creamery,
Cold
same
Stone.
thing.
But they have 17 different varieties at all their locations that have propylene glycol in them. More shots fired with
Really?
Dunkin' coming in with their flavored iced teas having propylene glycol. But don't worry, you can still get their regular iced teas that don't have it. I've seen a couple of you guys
Fireball
say
whiskey,
that
you
Fireball
guys
is
like
also
Fireball?
banned in certain countries because of the propylene glycol, aka... After reading this comment, I definitely had to do some research.
It's crazy. I mean, in
What about
what's crazy is the stuff that when you start watching this stuff, it's like everything else. It's got the algorithm. Oh, you watch this, so we'll show you this one and this one, and then I see more and more stuff coming out with it.
Yeah.
My wife, and I just heard this today. She said she thinks Skittles has a lawsuit against them right now because they're supposed to phase out some toxic chemicals 6 years ago, and they still haven't done it. And they said that was because of the dye or whatever they use to color the candies with. If I'm not mistaken, Willie, because it's got real fire in the Fireball.
Oh, really? I have to say, though, Fireball is the most genius product ever created in the 21st century.
I have never tried it. I honestly haven't.
I haven't either, but you think about it. You take all the second-class whiskey that the major manufacturers throw out. You blend it and add enough cinnamon oil so you can't taste it, and then sell it as a premium product. I love it. I don't know if that's what they do, but I really can't smell much whiskey in it.
Yeah. What's this one here? I don't know if I even seen this one, Mark. You posted it. Here comes the sun to end civilization.
That might be a bit much. It could happen though.
Yeah. Are they talking about a CME in the article? I haven't read it yet.
I think it's about CMEs, but not necessarily this coming one.
Oh, gotcha. Let's see, what's this? Yeah, there's my page of supply. London Heathrow Airport limits summer passenger. That's ask airline to stop selling tickets. Hey, there's our live from last week.
Well, we'll keep getting better and better at this.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, man? I don't know. I'm on the fence about
Detonated.
the towers when they came down.
All the way down. I was watching it and running. Floor by floor. It's like a popping out. Yeah, detonated. Yeah. All the way down.
All of a sudden, it was
either
like
way.
bang, 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 like bullet shots.
See how it would do it.
I saw from the corner.
But it does look kind of like a controlled explosion.
It does. It really does. Oh, Big Willie popped up. Is it because it has real fire in it? Oh, that was the other one. He said mix Fireball and rum chata together, and it tastes like a cinnamon toast crunch shot. Oh man, I have to try that.
No,
Here we are talking about how it's bad for you, but man, that sounds good. And then,
see what my wife said.
Yeah, Fireball.
I literally
drink
drink gallons of Mountain Dew every week. I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
See, now she's not going to let you drink Mountain Dew after we brought this out, Mark. Maybe I'm sorry, man. I apologize.
Maybe I can get her to buy me that 12-year-old bottle of scotch I had my eye on.
Oh, man, that sounds good. Let me know when you do.
Yeah, it's not bad. My daughter took me to the liquor store a while back. She goes, "How come this bottle costs $400 and this one costs $40?" I said, "Well, that one's twice as old as that one."
Yeah, I like a good whiskey, man. That's nothing better. Willie put only in moderation, of course. Well, of course, I mean. Chris said she's eating her Pop-Tarts.
There you go.
Yeah, what's bad is it's crazy because 20 years ago, when I was in Australia, I mean, they had Mountain Dew, they had Coke, but it was a totally different recipe. And it still kind of tasted like what it was supposed to be. You could tell it was off.
Did you see the article the other day about Coke tasting better in Mexico?
It's probably the same thing. I wouldn't doubt it.
It's because they still use cane sugar in the recipe instead of
corn syrup.
Corn syrup.
Yep. I don't doubt it.
If you've ever bought a throwback, you can tell. Mountain Dew throwback. You can actually taste the orange juice in it as opposed to the stuff with the corn syrup in it. So I'm sure Coke is the same way.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Because like I said, it tasted totally different when I was down there. So it's probably the same recipe they sent to Mexico and stuff like that. My wife's, they put cocaine in it.
That used to be true.
Yeah. See, I guarantee they got more work out of people if they let them drink old Coke.
I guarantee it. It might not be good work, but you'll get a lot of it.
Right. Absolutely. Man, we had an old boss out at the plant years ago, and she was from Peru. Was it Peru? Something like that. Somewhere down in South America. And she said they would take cocoa leaves and chew on them. And they'd get that slight buzz, that tingle,
You gonna make it? Maybe he's not gonna make it. I don't know.
Oh man, I'm not gonna get out of this alive. I know that. So, oh no, I'm trying not to hack up everywhere. This is Willie. Have to run for now, gentlemen. Keep the babies in bed, or getting the babies into bed now. Peace, love, and taco grease. Take it easy, brother. Thanks for dropping by.
Tacos are good. Thanks, Billy.
Man, he's good people. Good guy.
He is.
Yeah, you guys keep an eye out for his shows and stuff. He's kind of in his pre-production mode, trying to get things worked out. Yeah, definitely keep an eye out for Big Willie's Bits. I think it's going to be a YouTube thing. I'm not sure if he's going to be in the podcast format. I know he's still wanting to do podcasts. He's going to have a couple different shows. I think one, obviously Big Willie's Bits is going to be just the little small bits. But yeah. Cheers. But yeah, man, I know tonight's kind of an off episode or whatever, but it was kind of short. We kind of got to the point pretty quick. We did mess around with Facebook, definitely. If y'all are listening and whatever, by all means, man, jump on here with the chat. We enjoy having you guys in the chat. Jump over on the Facebook group, What If Tomorrow podcast group, man. Jump over there, join the conversation over there, throw up some posts, whatever. Good group of people over there. I've never seen any derogatory posts or people attacking somebody's viewpoint.
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody doing that
at all. Nobody's I've seen. Nobody gets butthurt about stuff over there, and that's what I like about it. I mean, if they don't like it, we don't know about it because they don't say anything.
It's like they're all mechanics.
Yeah.
Yeah. you can't mechanic and have feelings.
No, there's no room for feelings. Not at all. But no, I don't know. I'm really enjoying this, the new platform, and seeing the interaction. Definitely, you guys don't want to miss Wednesday night. Definitely, I'm going to try to get this.
Forward to it.
It's going to be a lot of fun, and like I said, I want to get Frank Jacob back on, so it's probably going to be a Sunday show. Once I get it scheduled, I'll schedule the live and pass it on. We're trying to get Dark Waters on. Mark and I wound up last week, wasn't it? Was it last week? Man, I'm all screwed up on time.
Before last.
While we were off, yeah. I haven't heard back. Yeah, I guess it was a week ago this past Thursday. I mean, it's only Monday, isn't it?
Yeah. It's only the heat that makes it feel like, we've been there for 4 days.
Right. But yeah, a week ago the past Thursday, I thought it was just going to be just kind of a meeting to kind of chat with Dark Waters, and get an idea of what we were going to talk about when he comes on. Wasn't expecting it all to be on his podcast, but I had a great time. I mean, we got in there. He said, "Oh, here's what here's what I want to talk about." All right, well, okay, let's just do it. Let's make it happen. So we spent an hour on the show with him, and really good conversation. Dark, he covers more of the fringe topics, like because I want to bring him on the fringe. But we wound up talking about kind of preparedness stuff and our thoughts on the Georgia Guidestones and what's going on in the nation, kind of what people can do to take steps, kind of what we talk about here. And it turned out to be a really good show, and he wanted us back on whenever we can get scheduled on, and then he wanted to schedule a time for him to come on the show too. So I'm going to reach back out probably tomorrow to his producer and see kind of what's going on, if he was just kind of blowing smoke or what, I don't know. But he don't seem like a person that would blow smoke. Just the few times that I've talked to him. Yep. So I know he'd been out of town the week before last. So, it may be some scheduling conflict thing or something, but I'll reach back out to him tomorrow. Try to get him on. And there's some other people I want to get in contact with. It's just, getting the time to do it now that we're back at work. And, we've got other stuff in the works, with, since we announced it last week. We'll have more details probably in the next couple of weeks. But with the Odd House Network, Mark and I were invited to help start up a network. So we're going to have a couple shows a month over there with On the Fringe, and we will probably get Preparedness and News over there as well. Not exactly sure yet, but the details are still in the works. We meet probably once a month, all of us, Willie, Ben and Joe, Chad Smith. You guys saw him post a little bit ago. But I'm excited about it. It's going to be a good thing for us, and it's good all around, all of us guys. It's something we've talked about for, pretty much the past years, just trying to get a network going, and it just kind of fell into place. So we're proceeding with it. But more to come on that. More exciting news. I think we're really going to start hitting it hard the way that we talked last time. Beginning of next month, we're going to try to go live. I think September 1st is the consensus right now, unless that changes. But Mark, I don't have a lot of anything else to share tonight. I'm trying to keep from coughing everywhere, and so.
No, I don't have a whole lot. When we get done here, I think I'm going to get on and post a link to the FEMA website with the list of recommended things. And it's just really a starting point. I really, if you're able, if like you go to Aldi's and you pick up your groceries, pick up a case of beans if you can. They're not that high. Pick up an extra couple cans. Stuff that keeps. Rice, pasta, ramen. Ramen's a good one. Canned meat like tuna, Spam, corned beef. Anything that has a long shelf life, it'd be a good thing to have. Canned chili. You can put chili in anything.
Yeah. I mean,
if you get good chili, you can put it on a pair of flip-flops.
Yep. The people around you won't care for it, but oh well. You'll still be alive.
My favorite thing to tell people is I'm fat and gassy, not sassy. Uh-oh, I made him choke.
My wife put up real quick, a sewing kit I can't even talk. A sewing kit is good to have. Absolutely.
Was it Dollar General?
I would almost recommend with a sewing kit. Sure, I mean, the thread's fine, but I would also recommend like dental floss or maybe a good fishing line, something like that. Something that's a little more sturdy than the thread. I guess it depends on the situation, but yeah, that's a great idea. But anyway, folks, I'm sorry for the short show tonight. Thanks for everybody that jumped on live with us and joined us and added to the conversation. I mean, like I said, I love this. This is so much fun interacting with everybody. Help us grow this. Share the show. Recommend people that you might know that would be interested in the topic for either show. Absolutely. But I do want to pitch. Carrie Ann Fields. She's going to be on Wednesday night with us at 7. This is kind of a time-sensitive thing because she's like 16 hours ahead of us. So Wednesday night will be her Thursday morning. So you don't want to miss that. I think it's going to be a great episode. Also, again, check our website out, whatiftomorrowmedia.com. Jump on there. Our affiliates, we got some merch up there. If there's something in the merch that you want that's not up there, let us know. We'll do our best to get something up there. Again, What If Tomorrow podcast group. If you want to reach out to us through email, whatiftomorrowpc@gmail.com. What am I forgetting, Mark? Am I forgetting anything?
Did you get the YouTube channel.
Yeah, the YouTube channel. Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
What If Tomorrow Media
I went
over
blank.
on YouTube. Yeah, What If Tomorrow Media on YouTube. And I told you my wife was wanting to do some stuff on YouTube. She's got a logo that she's kind of picked out. We're going to work it up and see what we can do. Plus, we're going to add some content to it. And also, check us over on TikTok. What If Tomorrow on TikTok. We're going to start getting content posted up there. It's just going to be a fun little thing to try to do and try to bring listeners and viewers and just kind of all around, kind of fits the whole What If Tomorrow Media thing that Mark and I started, a year ago? We kind of switched everything up, moved to a media group, and, we're taking small steps, but we're making those steps and making it happen. So
We want
with that being
people to
said,
be able to find the content they're interested in.
yeah, absolutely. We still have a lot of stuff, ideas and stuff that we had. My wife, she put up there, she said, I'm working on it. I'm really nervous about it.
It'll be fine.
I would agree.
Andrea.
Yep, she'll do great. Like I told her, and anybody that wants to do something, podcast or YouTube videos or anything like that, the hardest part is starting.
I think the hardest part is talking yourself into starting.
Right. Again, go. It's not going to be great. I promise you. Go listen to our first few episodes. If you want an example, go listen to our exactly. Mark, Mark's pinching his nose. Exactly. I mean, yeah, they were bad. I mean, thankfully we had good information.
Yeah.
Thankfully we had good information, but eventually, I mean, and I'll be honest with everybody, a little bit of transparency here. I haven't like fully opened up here, but it's getting easier too.
Yeah.
We're kind of, I'm kind of, I don't know, contained, I guess, but in full. Yeah, I'm more reserved because I'm like, well, man, I don't want to push people away with my dark sense of humor and crap like that.
I don't worry about it. I'm a nut job.
But I'm still kind of reserved. But that's just the way I am, and you would think almost 2 years into this. I mean, if you want to count our hiatus, I mean, we're rolling up right on 2 years when we started this thing. And we have grown. And we've kind of fell a little bit when we took our hiatus. We obviously lost some listeners and all that, so we're rebuilding. Statistic wise, looking at the statistics, we're not quite back to where we were a year ago before we kind of went on our break. But we're getting there, and now we're basically building another podcast around the fringe. And I made the comment to you here, was last week before last, something like that it's really not much different, except there's more preparedness episodes.
Right.
Because 25% of our episodes on the What If Tomorrow podcast were preparedness. If you think about it, we do roughly 4 episodes a month. The rest of them were fringe topics. But we're known as the prepper guys. That's what
we're
blows
really
my
not
mind.
preppers.
We're not. We just talk about preparedness and we want to bring things to people's attention. But I don't care. I mean, I'll take that moniker. I don't mind.
I don't think it's a bad one.
No, it's not. Absolutely not. But a dark. We were on his show the other night. He's like, "Man, you guys have stepped off into some stuff that you guys are talking about." He said it's going to be a rough ride. Basically, I'm paraphrasing, and he's not wrong. I mean, we haven't come under severe attack. I mean, we had one negative email that I've seen from a listener, and that was back when we did the Forgotten History episode. You remember that episode?
I do.
Where we kind of talked about the dark history and all that, and this lady got mad at us because because I made the comment, I don't believe there should be a Black History Month because Black history is American history. And she got mad. I mean, just kind of berated us through email. I was like, whatever, that's your opinion. That's my opinion. I mean, I'm on this platform. I'm going to share my opinion.
I'm all for equality. I mean, it needs to go both ways, though.
Absolutely. My wife posted, we have the mindset of being self-reliant or self-sufficient. Absolutely right. That explains it all right there. Not necessarily preppers, but we do want to be self-sufficient. And I think everybody should push for at least a measure of self-sufficiency.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't have much more left to share. Again, check our website. Email us if you want to contact us through email, whatiftomorrowpc@gmail.com. Keep on the lookout with TikTok. Keep on the lookout for YouTube. I think there's some more things coming. Kind of helping the wife out, and my wife just made another comment. She said she likes knowing where her food comes from. Absolutely right. Absolutely agree with that.
It is true.
But anyway, folks, with all this being said, we thank you for listening. We thank you for joining us on the live chat. It's been a lot of fun. Again, like I said, I really enjoy this format. I'm happy to be able to do it. If it'll give you a break or whatever from your evening, or Wednesday nights, definitely. I mean, we don't talk about anything like this, I should say. I mean, it's going to affect some of the stuff that we'll talk about. It kind of does affect us, but Pam's out of the meeting. Yay, Pam, we're about to sign off.
Sorry, Pam.
Sorry, Pam. You'll definitely have to join us Wednesday. Anyway, folks, thank you again so much. My voice is about gone if you can't tell. Thank you so much for joining us. I mean, without you guys listening and joining in, I mean, Mark and I would be just talking to each other like we do at work. So,
We're
anyway,
going to talk
folks,
anyway. You guys might as well get the listen.
Yep, that's it. Again, thanks, folks, and we'll catch you next episode.
Good night.